Well, welcome class to another test review day. I've decided to do 2 days of review for the upcoming assessment in order to slow it down a little bit and make for shorter videos for homework. So let's look at the first problem that I'm doing for review. One of the things on your place value test is regrouping. You'll be regrouping with adding and subtracting, but you're going to have to decide which to do. Let's look at the word problem example I have here. Miss Rios told the class that the population of Orlando was 1,839,570. Last year, the population was 1,102,478. By how much did the population in Orlando increase from last year to this year? Well, the first thing you're going to have to do in any word problem is determine what operation you're going to use. And you do that by thinking about what they want to know. In this case, they have given us two populations of the same city, and they want to know the increase from last year to this year. That means they want to know the difference, or another way of saying that is the change between the 2 years. So in this case, you would want to subtract. The very first thing I notice about my answer selections is two of them are smaller and one is bigger. And looking at an estimation, 1 million and 1 million, they, it seems like, have decided to add the two numbers. So I know if I'm going to subtract, the number that I get should not be bigger. So I can eliminate that as a possibility. But now that I know I need to subtract, I'm going to actually do the subtraction. I will start by putting my numbers in columns so that I can line up the places. You cannot subtract without lining up each place value together. So I want my ones and my ones, my tens and hundreds and so on together. After I've lined them up, I begin to subtract. What I see first thing is both of these look like reasonable answers, A and B. Let me subtract. If I'm subtracting correctly, I'm going to subtract from top going down. 0 minus the 8. So I would have to regroup. I cannot take 8 from nothing. However, what I see on this answer key here is that they have given you an answer for someone who does it the wrong way. Be careful. There will be an answer on the test for someone who's going up, which is the wrong way to do it, and subtracting 8, and then 7 minus 7 is 0, and then, oh, look, 5 minus 4 is 1, 7 minus 2, 9 minus 2, 7, 3, 7, and I'll find my answer there, but I am going to get it wrong because you cannot take 8 ones from 0 ones. So let's look at what we should have done instead. First, we do exactly what we did before and line up all of our place value positions so that we can subtract. After making sure they are lined up, I can subtract. Now, many of you tell me in class, you forgot your commas, and you're right. When I line them up, a lot of times I don't like to put them in case I write them and I think they're a 1 or a number, especially you guys who write your commas too big. So now that I know that I have to do it correctly and regroup, I know I cannot have 0 ones minus 8 ones, so I'm going to have to take a 10 away and give myself 10 units or ones. So 10 minus 8 is 2. But now I have, looking down, 6 tens minus 7 tens. I can't do that. Remember when we were at our manipulative center, I need to trade a flat or 100. So I'm going to take one of those hundreds away and give myself 10 longs or 10 tens. So now I have 16 minus 7 and I get 9. I have 4 minus 4, which I can do. 9 minus 2, which I can do. 3 10,000s minus no 10,000s, which I can do. 8 100,000s minus 1 100,000, which I can do. And my answer, if done correctly, is B. Remember, they predict what you might get wrong on the FCAT. This answer is there so that if someone is not going from top down, they're going to miss it so that they can see what errors you're making. Do not fall for that. Always read the numbers from top going down, and you'll make it the correct way. Let's move on to the next one. What is the largest number? Make sure that you read it carefully. They might say smallest number from time to time, but this one says, what is the largest number I can make with the digits below using the 5 in the hundreds place? Also, what I said before, read it correctly and carefully. They might say using something in the thousands place. They might use a different place here, but today it's the hundreds place. So I'm going to put 4 lines on my paper, what I hope you do on your test, and I'm going to place the digit that they want me to place in the place they tell me. In this case, 5 in the hundreds place. Now I'm going to look at my remaining places to put digits and look at what I can do to make it the largest, because I don't want the smallest, I want the largest. So I would take my largest digit, that is the 7, and put it in my largest place, and then keep doing that. The next largest, and put it in the next largest place, and then the smallest I would put last. So I make the largest number I can. In this case, 7,541. This is a fairly easy problem as long as you read it carefully. Find out if they want the largest or the smallest and what place they want the digit, and you'll be just fine. The next one is a range problem. We've worked at ranges on a number line several times, but let's look at it in this word problem. A freight liner left the port weighing about 3,268,349 pounds. Between what two numbers is this number located? The way you're going to be able to figure this out is you will have to look at what the range is at the highest place value. This whole chart of answers or selection of answers is only giving you place values in the millions to about the hundred thousands position. The rest are zeros. So you're only comparing numbers here that are in the largest place. I know I have 3,268,000. Well, let's take a look at where that would be on a number line and think about what would be before and after it. If this is 3,268,349, I need to think of these as numbers before and, pretend the and is in the middle, after, to find my answer. Let's start with the bottom and go up. When I look at D, I see 4 million to 4.5 million. Well, when I look at my number line, I know 4 million is after, 4.5 million is after. So this could not be part of the range because both of those numbers for D come after. Now I'm going to look at C, 3.5 million to 4 million. Well, again, 3.5 million for C comes after, 4 million comes after, so both of those are after. When I'm talking about range, I need something that's before and something after. So now I see 2.5 million to 3 million. Well, 2.5 million is here. It's before. Well, that makes me excited. But unfortunately, 3 million is also before. So both the numbers are before. So that is not a range. That must leave our last one that is correct. 3 million to 3.5 million. Well, let's check. 3 million is before 3,268,000 and 3.5 million is after, so we know that A is correct. Be sure you think about every one of the selections on your test in the number problem before you select your answer. This is going to be one of the easier problems on the test, any of them that just asks you the digit in its position. What is the value of the digit 8 in this number? All you have to do is look at its position, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. So I know it's in the millions, and I know that there's 8 of them, so it's 8 million. So when I look at my answers, I just have to read each one till I find 8 million. Be careful, work slowly, and you'll have no problem with that one. Lastly, let's look at a word problem. The fourth grade, it should say the fourth grade at South Ocala Elementary School collected 3,456 plastic bottles to raise money for, it should say for, PE equipment. I have a typo there. What is 3,456 rounded to the nearest thousand? It's important you circle what they want you to do so you don't round to the wrong number, but to the nearest thousand. If I were to write my number and underline where I want to round to, I will look to the right. My eyeball's looking at you. 4, and I think it's 5 or above. I give it a shove, but if it's 4 or below, I leave it alone. So 3 is going to be left alone. That's the only one here that starts with a 3. The rest turn to 0, and I have found my rounded answer. I'm sorry I still went a bit long today. We took 10 minutes for this video, but we're halfway through our review. Tomorrow we'll do the other half. Get some rest tonight. We'll review again in class tomorrow so you can be all ready this week for the test. Have a good night. Don't forget your reading.